webcam like right here. It would sit and kind of like look this way, so you kind of see like what I was looking at. But I just think this is much more beneficial because now I can actually paint like I typically paint, and not have this big bulky, you know, wireless whatever thing webcam sitting in front of me. I have to worry about, you know, painting around it or bumping it or you know, not being able to see the detail or hold the model how I want. So this is like so much more relaxing now. So yeah, if you guys are looking to get your setup, this is basically, the webcam's about 6 inches, 8 inches above the work surface that I'm working on. And I've got my focal point set about like 2 inches from my my cutting mat here. And you just kind of have to disable the autofocus so that it just stays focused on one area, so that you're not constantly readjusting the camera with your hand coming in and out. Just gonna go back over the straps here. For these straps, I'll probably just go straight to the ochre highlight because I don't think I need the 3 transitions like I would need for the legging. There's got to be a better word for it. It's not legging. It's like a half. And I just now realized. You know, yeah, I think that's actually a strap right there. Well, I probably should have just left that black now that I'm looking at it, because I didn't do a very good job. There's like a little bit of fold line right underneath there. I'm streaming at just around, I think I've got it set for my max is 13K or 1.3K. No, 1300 kilobits a second, I think, is my upload stream. I am working off of a Wi-Fi card, so I can't do it super high, but plus there's 2 other people living in the apartment right now. I don't want to hog the Wi-Fi, so I think I capped it at like 1/3 of what our upload speed is. Hopefully it turns out okay. Right now I'm just using, for the boom stand jack trauma, I've just got a couple of these, they're IKEA something or other lamps. They're like $10 each. They're basically just like silver, like, what do you call them? Lamps? Desk lamps. But what I do need to do is find one that is, not doing what it's doing right now. As you can kind of see, it's shaking. It's because I'm mixing paint over here on my palette, and just that ever little bit of, shaking is causing the camera to go up and down. So I've got to find something. I'll probably get on Amazon here after I'm done, see what I can find that's like a more permanent solution to fixing this. So now I'm just doing a 1-to-1 mix of that green ochre and the uniform brown, and then I'm just doing this mid-tone highlight, just kind of focusing on the high points. I'll do this, I don't know if I might just do this, I guess I can just do this the same. I was thinking of doing this as a separate color, but I think we'll just do it as kind of like he stitched some padding onto the front of that. There's an knee pad there. I actually might be able to paint miniatures faster on stream now. This is like night and day compared to how I was painting before, because I'm actually able to hold my hand here comfortably. Yeah, dude, the Skyrim soundtrack is great. The Witcher soundtrack it's not as soothing, but I've been listening to that on streams for a while now. It's just fun to hear it. I was looking into like Fable, you know, some of the other kind of like fantasy-inspired soundtracks, and I just don't know how they'll turn out. I know that like the Mass Effect, because like Twitch has certain copyright things that you have to kind of worry about. So like certain things through YouTube or like Pandora or Spotify sometimes will get flagged as copyright, because I think the algorithm that they're using to check whether it's copyright, I think when people upload to YouTube, I think there's a little bit of lost information, so I don't think they're able to track 100%, you know, whether the song is a complete copy of the song that they have on record that it's testing the copyright against. And then 2, I think people slightly adjust the speeds of the songs so that they either play ever so slightly faster or ever so slightly slower, and that's kind of where you get the process of kind of tricking those copyright algorithms that they have to flag stuff automatically. I don't know. I might just be talking completely out of my ass. So this is the this is that Reaper green ochre. We're just throwing this down at the very end here, just on the very kind of top parts of the. This is such a great like kind of deer skin, kind of like a soft supple leather. Think anything that would be made out of like a deer hide or kind of like moccasin style leather. It's only 2 colors out of this triad. I'm not sure if there's a third color that I'm missing that's either darker or lighter. But I honestly don't think you need anything but these 2 colors if you're doing any sort of like if you wanted to do like kind of like desert camouflage uniforms, or you know, if you're working on like if you're doing like Wild West or anything like that, this would be like a perfect perfect couple of paints to get. It's pretty easy. It's just 1, 2, 4 steps. Base coat, wash. 5 steps. Base coat with the uniform brown. Wash it with Agrax. Reapply your uniform brown. Do your 1-to-1 mix of the green ochre and uniform brown, and then just finally the green ochre. And if you want, there's a final step that I used on my Peacekeepers, which was glazing, to kind of tie everything together, but I don't think I'm going to bother with that on this. It's because it's such a small part of the model that I think just the highlights work. FS Volt 87, thanks for the follow. How you doing today? So I am going to take that that ochre that I've got, and I don't think that's... Never mind, I'm not going to take that ochre. I bought some ivory recently, but I think I'm just going to pull out some beige here. This is just Vallejo beige, and I'll use this to highlight my other 2 bits of leather that I've got going on here. Of course, the beige decides to explode because it's Vallejo bottles, and why wouldn't it explode? So I'm just going to do like a 2-to-1 mix of the light brown in this beige, and I'm just going to hit the kind of like the bottom and sides of the knife belt here. I think what I'll do is I'll reapply a little bit of that sepia just at the top of the blade here, just to kind of redefine that that dark area underneath the actual metal bit. Make sure the model's not going flying. It's the only thing. I've got this really crap what do you call it? It's like poster putty or something. Blue tack, I guess, is what the technical term for it is. But it's so dry out here in Colorado that this stuff is only good for like 1 or 2 uses, and I've been really kind of working it to its last legs to try and get these models to stay on. Plus, I think these have been mounted to these bases for almost like a month now. I just haven't painted these guys. Ooh, you know what? I've been completely forgetting to do his to do all these leather straps up here, so we'll do that right now. Really, I should be doing these straps at the very end, because I'm going to be painting his banner pole at some point. So we might have to touch these up. Which will be fun. So what's everyone painting these days? I know a lot of people have been chatting up about the new GW stuff, the burning of Prospero. I'm sure quite a bit of people are working on that. There are people working on some Kingdom Death stuff being posted. I saw someone working on some drop pods, I think, on the Facebook group that were looking pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Grendler? How you doing? Alright, he's got a strap going across his belt there, which I think we'll do... Should I do it the same color? Oh, you know what? I've also forgot his loincloth. We'll get that painted. Can't neglect that. That would be a poor decision. So just hit that there, and then just go back in with that that final green ochre color. Don't need to do a whole lot here, just enough to kind of make it noticeable and not look like he's, you know, flapping in the breeze or anything like that. Alright, so Grendler's doing good, that's good to hear. It looks like FS Volt's working on a school project. Oh, making a figure out of Super Sculpey, nice. You have to do, your, what do you call it? Armature and all that kind of stuff. Big Roser's working on Nurgle, yep, he's been working on that for a couple weeks now, I've seen his good progress on that. Oh, really? Hashtag figurines, I'll have to throw that in there. And then Bellarine is still working on Silver Tower minis. Next 2 years. Yeah, you and me both, man. I've got stuff from like the first Reaper Kickstarter. That was like 3 years ago. All the bone stuff that they did that I haven't finished. I don't think I'll ever get it finished. Just kind of one of those things. It's like, you know, if I ever decide to just kind of pick up some fantasy stuff again, you know, that'll be the first port of call. And I think all the Conan stuff is starting to ship now. It's pretty cool. I'm just going back in with some Agrax and kind of toning down some of these hard edges where the highlights are transitioning, just to kind of give it a bit of a third kind of dimension here. Not dimension, just kind of a third transition of paint. Some of these areas that I'd highlighted were a little too stark. Alright, so what was I saying? I need to do, you know, we're just going to do black leather for that strap across his leg there. So that'll be a nice kind of dark contrast. I mean, not hugely contrasting, but it'll be enough to break up this bit here. Across the front of that there. Across there. Kind of the quiet part of the Skyrim soundtrack here. Oh, you know what? I might actually be able to paint eyes on stream now that I'm looking at this. I might have to readjust the webcam and the focus point and all that stuff, but I think I can actually probably do that kind of work now. Whereas before I used to have to do that off stream because it was just prohibitive to have this webcam sitting in front of you and then try and get nice, you know, lines of paint on the eyes and everything. It just wasn't very easy. So yeah, if I do decide to pull the trigger on something and get like a boom stand or something, I'll be sure to post a link to what I've picked up. There's a little bit of the scabbard kind of showing here. I'm just going to kind of hit it. Then just give it a wash real quick. I think I just need to touch up side of his handle there and top of that bit right there. And I think I had a little bit of yeah, right there. I had a little bit of paint that got onto the gun barrel. What I'm going to do, there's like a big kind of blotch of, oh, see I'm off camera, there's a big blotch of paint down here that's just kind of either primer or not really painted. I'm just going to drop some shade down in there to kind of tone that down, and that'll just kind of be a continuing process as I'm shading stuff. The one thing I do need to figure out is what color I want to paint the, he's got a little gas mask canister back here. I was thinking of doing that white, or yellow, one of the two. I need to figure out if I want to keep the hair black, or if I want to do it like a gray, or if I want to do it like a kind of gray-blue color. And then obviously the skull will be white, that's easy enough to do. And then there's not a whole lot left on this particular model. I'm just going to come down here real quick and just kind of work some black into the cord around his ankle. It's holding all these teeth onto his bracelet. Anklet, rather, I guess is what it's called. Then we'll just have to finish up the gun. That'll be him done. I wish I did a better job cleaning up. He's got like a couple little bits of mold line here. And I didn't do a very good job cleaning this down here, but that's kind of on the underside of his hand and the back of the gun, and I'm not really worried about that. You won't see that when he's out on the table.